Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. My name is JD. We are doing a video today where we are going to predict how every matchup will go in Generation 1. And what do I mean by matchup? Not so much like every individual Pokemon time. That's going to be that'd be a very long and boring video. What I'm going to do is I have a group of Pokemon either by type or by circumstance, and we're going to predict which one will have the best run, which one will prevail as the best Pokemon in their group, and ultimately there will be a best Pokemon in the entire Gen 1 that I will pick, who has the best time. So without further ado, we're going to start off with our three starters. So we have Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and obviously all the evolutions, all up to Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. Now, this one I will give a prediction that is based solely on like all the things that I've heard. My personal opinion is I personally think Charizard is the best starter. And the reason why I think Charizard is the best starter is because whenever I've played through as a kid, whenever I've played through, Charizard kind of forces you a little bit to have a well-rounded team, and he just forced you to have a well-rounded team. And I think that's really important in the game, is having a good team rather than just one really good starter Pokemon. So I personally think he's the best in Gen 1. However, I've heard all these I won't say cliches, but just all these statistical things where people are like, well, statistically, Venusaur does the best against all the major battles in the game. Like, for example, Giovanni, the first couple gyms, so on and so forth. He just has an advantage against most of them, which is true. I mean, he does. So, I'm going to lean towards that, but I personally think Charmander / Charmeleon / Charizard will actually probably be the best person. That's my favorite, but I think Bulbasaur will have the best run. I think Charizard will be the second best, and I think Squirtle will be last. Squirtle has some pretty good defense, but I just don't know if it has enough coverage for the Elite Four. So, moving on to the next slide. So now we're going to talk about bug Pokemon. So this one I'm doing all this off the cuff. I'm not I didn't prepare anything. I'm just going off the cuff of what I think will happen. So looking at these six, I'm going to take two of them out and talk about two first, and that's Pincer and Skyther. Of the two of them, I think those two are the best two bug types in Gen 1. And of them, I think Pincer is going to have a better run. I think Pincer has he gets a better move earlier than Skyther, and that's going to affect his time drastically. Skyther, I think, only has it's not cut. I think it's like scratch or something like that. A quick attack. That's what it is. Quick attack. Whereas I think Pincer starts out with Vice Grip. So he has a much better moveset. But maybe Skyther makes up in the back end. That's just my educated guess. So I'm going to look at the other four as a potential option for the next one. Now, as much as I do like, we're all Venomoth. Venomoth actually isn't going to be bad because you can get Psychic, and Psychic is very good in Gen 1. Problem is you're not going to be able to get it until you're almost out like a third of the way through the game. Paris, Paris isn't too bad to me because Paris has a lot of range when it comes to the moves you can learn. You can learn Cut, you can learn Dig. I think he learned Earthquake, he learned Spore, he can learn Grass type, he can learn Ground type. He's a very good coverage. The problem is he has 4 times weakness to a lot of different things. So that's what I think he's going to do. He's not going to do as well, but also I've never played through with just a Parasect. I've played through with Paris, but not Parasect. So we're going to see how that one turns out, but I don't think they're going to be, I don't think either one of them are going to be top 2. I think top 2 is going to go to Butterfree and Beedrill. And I personally think Butterfree is the best one because in Gen 1, Psychic type moves are predominant and they give you an advantage in the game, and Butterfree can use Psychic type moves, whereas Beedrill can't, and he only has 1 or 2 moves where it actually is bug type, so it doesn't actually really help him against bugs or whatever, or against ghost type. So my pick is of the big hitters, the Pincer and the Skyther. I think Pincer does better. And of the other 4, I think Butterfree will do the best of those other 4. So I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I'm actually modifying how I'm going to do these playthroughs now. I was going to play through in order, but you know what? It's fun doing all these grouped together ones. That way I can kind of have a similar run and get a similar feel for the game. And I'm also going to start randomizing the order in which I go in. And in my next video, next explanation video or recap video, you'll hear about like Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, and how a bunch of like what are some things I think impacted the run, and is there advantage going later or earlier? Usually there's advantage going later, but you just never know. So moving on. So now grass type. Now obviously some we're going to cross over. I'm not going to talk too much about crossover. If there's too many crossovers and it's just a huge advantage because of type, like it's a dual typing, that's a huge advantage, I won't count it. But in this case, I will count all the grass types I list on the screen. So you got Tangela, Execute, Bulbasaur, Bellsprout, and Oddish. So those are your first gens. Then you have your evolutions with Execute, who is part Psychic. Victory Bell, Vileplume, and Venusaur are both I think they're both grass poison. They're all grass poison. Hold on. You definitely have some good hitters here. I'm going to rule out Tangela. Tangela's not very good. Tangela sucks. Tangela's a horrible Pokemon, and I'm really dreading that playthrough. I really am dreading that playthrough. Not going to be fun at all. However, it is what it is, and I think it's going to be... Oh boy, there's like 4 decent Pokemon here. Because here's the thing. I just played through as Venusaur. The video's up on my channel. I'm going to make a condensed version. Venusaur didn't have a lot of coverage, and I don't think Victory Bell and Vileplume will either. And the fact that Execute can learn Psychic moves and has Hypnosis might be a massive advantage for Execute. So if I have to pick, like my feet to the fire, I'm picking. I would honestly pick Victory Bell as the one who's the fastest of the grass types in Gen 1. But I wouldn't count on, I think it's a 4-horse race, honestly. This is a close one. Because Execute, as much as I don't like the Pokemon, the fact that he has Psychic gives him a lot more coverage on a lot of opponents. And trust me, I played through with Bulbasaur, I should say Venusaur at that point. I came against Agatha. Agatha was a brick wall that I could not get over with just grass type. So that Psychic advantage may be enough to get Executor over the hump. So moving on to Fire type. So there's not a lot of Fire types in Gen 1. And I'm going to exclude Charizard out of this for a moment, because I do think Charizard is going to have the best run of all these. But I think the one who's going to have the best run, honestly, based on the stats that I've seen, I think Arcanine will probably have the best run. I'll probably exclude Flareon from this list as well, because it's not really fair to Flareon that you can't get a Firestone until a third through the game. It's not like you're starting with a lower level Flareon or something that evolves into a Flareon. You just don't have Flareon. You have Eevee until then. It's going to be a hell of a run. Probably with those Pokemon like Eevee, Vaporeon, Jolteon. I'll play through them with the starter as Flareon rather than having it be Eevee and then level up. Because all of them are going to be the same, basically. They're going to be the same getting to 1 point. I might just do it at that point. I get to the point and then have 3 different saves where one I'll play through is Flareon, one Jolteon, so on and so forth. Because it wouldn't be a fair representation of how the game, how you progress through the game if they can just start with their final evolution. Because there's a couple Pokemon, I'm pretty sure if I start with their final evolution, I'm going to blow some times out the door, for sure. So I think Arcanine will take the GOAT. He is fast. He's got a lot of power. I think Magmar wouldn't be bad, but he's too slow. Moltres. So here's what I'm going off right now. I'm going off of just my common knowledge of Pokemon. I'm going off a couple videos I've seen from J Rose and Scott's Thoughts and my Drybeard, and a couple others. But that's what I'm going off of. It's not any kind of like research done. I've done a little bit of research on the 3 starters, and that's pretty much it. Because I had to prepare for those playthroughs, which I'm in the process of filming. As soon as I'm done this, I'm still filming the other 2 and then cutting one of them, and editing the video. But I think Arcanine's going to take the cake here. I think Charizard would be the best if I counted them, but I think Arcanine takes the cake. So, Water type. Water type is very, 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 very abundant in Generation 1. Makes it a very difficult to make a decision here. Blastoise is, I think, is going to be a really heavy hitter here. I think Amistar is actually a sleeper. Starmie might be a sleeper because it has good speed and psychic moves. But I think I'm going to have to lean towards Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath as my best water type playthrough. So Poliwag it just depends on how fast you can get to level 22. Once you get to level 22, the game opens up wide open. Poliwhirl can learn a lot of different moves. He also learns Amnesia. I've done a playthrough in the past with just Poliwrath and just Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl wasn't quite as good at Poliwrath, but if Poliwrath had Amnesia, I promise you we're going to get like a really good run out of Poliwrath. So the question is, how quickly can Poliwag get to level 22 and level up? Or 25, whatever it is. That's going to be the question, is how fast can we level up? Now the good news is we're going to get, eventually, at some point, get Bubble Beam, we get Hypnosis. We have a large variety of moves. I think actually Poliwrath, and you're going to hear a little spoiler, I think Poliwrath is actually one of the best Pokemon to play with in Gen 1. Because of the coverage. You have so much variety of moves. A lot of these Pokemon don't have variety of moves, and I think Poliwrath is a model of variety when it comes to moves. Now, it also means a lot can attack him, but it also means he has a variety of moves. He can hit you in any number of ways. So I think that Poliwrath will be the Gen 1 water champion. A lot of people are going to say, like, what about Gyarados? I'm sorry, Gyarados to me is not even in this. He has to take so long to level up from Magikarp. Gyarados is just not powerful enough to make up for that lost time. He's gonna have to, you literally have to get Magikarp to level 20 using Struggle and maybe Tackle before you can. I mean, you might be able to beat Brock's Gym otherwise. You might, but level 20, you're gonna get level 20 and then you'll have Gyarados. So you gotta take however much time that's gonna be to use Struggle to get yourself to level 20. It's not gonna be fun. Like I said, I don't discount Starmie. I think Starmie's got Psychic Water, and so is Golduck. But I think Staryu is good enough that you can actually get through the game a little bit for a while, whereas Psyduck is not very good, and Golduck's solid, but and then you got Amistar and Kabuto. They're wild cards. I would look into them. I would say I looked it up, and I looked up ground type and rock type, and a lot of them crossed over. So I'm just gonna leave it up here with a lot of them crossed over, and we're gonna pick our best ground type. I think we have about 5 contenders here. I don't see Onix being even an option. I don't think Graveler / Geodude / Golem will be an option because I can't evolve them and get Golem to see how good it could be. I might just play through as Golem for a while. That's possible, but we'll circle back to that in the future once I've beaten with every game. I think Rhydon is one we can rule out as well, and as much as it pains me because it is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon in Gen 1, Dugtrio can be ruled out as well. As much as I do like Dugtrio, he just doesn't have the hit points to handle it. I've played through with Dugtrio, and it's a glass cannon. He's a speedy, fast glass cannon, and that's great. He's fast, but as soon as you get hit, you just can't take enough hits sometimes. If you don't knock him out in one hit, you literally just can't take a lot of hits. It's either knocked out or be knocked out. So that's kind of how Dugtrio is. I don't think Sandslash is going to be enough to get through to be the top dog in this category. I think Sandslash will be solid. Marowak will be solid. But the real heavy hitters to me are, first off, Amistar, because of typing, Kabuto, because of water is really predominant in General 1. So those two maybe. I would not sleep on Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl has massively great speed. But the two I think are going to go battle it out for the #1 spot for rock Pokemon are Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Their range of moves is incredible. They can learn moves from water to normal to electric. They can learn ice moves. They can learn fighting moves, ground moves. They can learn everything. So they have a large variety compared to their counterparts in this group. Normal type. Normal type is a very interesting one. Because actually there's supposed to be a bird type in here. I guess I'll just do bird and normal, same thing. So Normal type consists of a lot of different Pokemon. I think there's a couple heavy hitters here. So the first heavy hitter here is, I think, Chansey. Chansey has such high HP that it can just take so much damage and keep on coming. And that's why, like, Double Edge is its like one of its main moves that comes with the Pokemon. You got Snorlax, has very high defense and learns rest, so you can heal yourself all the time. The problem is you can be very slow with Snorlax. And then I also think Taurus is a very good Pokemon in Gen 1.
I think he has a variety of moves.
And in that variety of moves, you're going to be able to take down whatever you want because you're going to have a variety of what you can pick to fight whatever you're fighting. I'll do the bird one here now too. So the bird, there's only like 4 bird types that are like solely bird types without like fire, lightning, or ice in Gen 1. The 4 bird types are Spearow, Pidgey, Dudo, or whatever his name is, and Farfetch'd. Those are really the 4 only bird types. So my prediction is that Spearow will be the best. I know Pidgey evolves into Pidgeot, and usually that means like better stats on the 3rd evolution, but I just think Spearow will prevail as the best bird type in Gen 1. Yeah, moving on. Now, this is psychic types. I'm going to eliminate Mew and Mewtwo. Let's just get them out of there. They're probably going to have the best run, some of the best runs in the game, period. Much less psychic types. So let's eliminate those 2. Because obviously Mewtwo's probably going to be, he would probably be the fastest one of everyone. If the possible playthrough. So we can't get Alakazam, so I'm not going to say Kadabra. It's possible Hypno. Hypno is a good possibility. I've actually seen 2 videos in the last week where J Rose and Scott's Thoughts played through with Hypno, and both of them had very good runs, and so I think there's something to it. But the one I'm really think is going to be a really good dark horse, and I did not look up stats, so someone's going to tell me that the stats are garbage with this Pokemon. But I think Mr. Mime is a sleeper. I think Mr. Mime is a sleeper. Every time I play with him, he does very well. But he's also traded for when you get him, so he levels up easy. So I don't know if that's going to be the same case with having Mr. Mime from the get-go. But my guess is either it's going to be Hypno or it's going to be Mr. Mime as the best psychic type in Gen 1. And moving on to fighting type. This is a very simple answer. My answer is going to be Poliwrath. I honestly think Poliwrath would be probably one of the better Pokemon in Gen 1. Period. Because of his typing and his versatility. So I think he'll get the best run that I actually ever put together, period. But I think a second, I don't even think any of these are on his level. Maybe Mankey is okay, but none of them are have the versatility that Poliwrath has. I'm just gonna rule out Zapdos, and I'm going to and Jolteon. I'm going to say Electabuzz. And Electabuzz's stats are pretty good. I think he can learn other things a little more than other Pokemon. So starting out with him, I can get Mega Punch pretty quickly. So I think he's going to have an advantage over a couple of the other ones. And I don't know what he starts out with. I think he actually starts out with a physical attacking move, like Tackle or something, and then I don't know, other things come available. But I do not think Pikachu would be the best. Pikachu cannot get none of these Pokemon are going to do fast, except for maybe Zapdos and Electabuzz, because they can have a move where you can attack ground type in Gen 1. So a lot of these Pokemon will be stuck on the first gym before they even have a chance to move on and progress to the game because of their typing. Next one is Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to film playing with Eevee all the way through to when you get to where you can buy the stones. Silver, Thunder, I'm sorry, not Silver Badge. Water, Thunder, and Fire. When you get those stones, that's probably one I'll record on and see how they do from there. With the versatility, because that's when your moves open up as well. I think it's going to be Vaporeon. I think Vaporeon will be the best because Vaporeon's going to match up better against a lot of the Elite Four members. Alright, and the electric birds, I think it's Articuno. I think, like I said, it's electric. It's your bird, and you have ice and water type. That's a huge advantage in Gen 1. So I think Articuno is going to be the best. And then last but not least, I tried to Google ones like Gas Pokemon Gen 1. A lot of Pokemon crossed over into this. So I thought I'd just pick 4 that were pretty straightforward. I basically threw Pokemon in here because I didn't really have a place to put them. I mean, if you look at Gengar, they're the only Ghost in Gen 1, so they would automatically win that category. But they can kind of do some poisoning moves, they can kind of do some confusing moves, which is what this MO for this group is. Muck and Grimer, you got Weezing, and you got Arbok. I think easily Gengar is going to win this category. I didn't have a lot of options, but I put Gengar as the number one, I think he's going to be the number one option out of this category. If I had to pick one beyond him, I'd have to say maybe Arbor or Arbok and Ekans. I don't know. I'm not confident in any one of them except for Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. I'm not confident in I'm confident in them much more than the others. So yeah, that's pretty much the sum up of what my prediction is for this Gen 1 playthrough. I know you're probably looking to see one Pokemon that I did not add to this list. It's Dragonite. Dragonite's in the league of his own. He's literally the only dragon in Gen 1, even though a lot of people say Gyarados is. I think Aerodactyl is considered dragon as well. But they're more the other things than they are dragon. Okay, if Gyarados was dragon, Blizzard would knock him out one hit. Doesn't happen. It barely does any damage. Why? Because he's a water flying type for some reason. So that's my video. This is just prediction of who will win in every category. I hope you enjoyed this. What's your opinions? Who do you think will win in every category? And that's it. Comment down below. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's JD's Nerdverse. And my name is JD, and this is my video. And have a good one. See ya.